Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Salinas City Council meeting. We'll go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Councilmember Osornio, can you please lead us in the pledge? Thank you. We're going to go ahead and do roll call for the City Council.
Anthony, your mic, we can barely hear you. We also
Thank you so
turn your
much.
head a lot, and so we just missed so much of what you said.
I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you. Before we start the meeting, Madam Clerk, can you please do the Zoom announcement? Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Rocha. This meeting is available in Spanish for members of the public in attendance and on Zoom. Translation devices can be obtained in the foyer. Esta reunión está disponible en español para los miembros del público y en Zoom. Las unidades de traducción se pueden obtener en la rotonda. La información de participar en Zoom está en la agenda. Zoom webinar participation information is available on the City Council agenda and on the city's website.
Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and do the roll call.
Councilmember Barrera?
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Here.
Councilmember and Mayor Pro Tem Rocha?
Here.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Here.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Present.
And Mayor Craig is absent.
All righty. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and move on to new employee welcome and introductions. Welcome.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, my name is David Gonzalez. I'm your Assistant Community Development Director, and I have the pleasure to introduce one of our new employees, Vincent Montgomery. Please stand. He's our housing manager. He comes to us from Fresno. He has about 15 years of housing experience and a great deal of social work tied to that. Be a great asset to our community and, more importantly, right now for me personally, our department. So anyway, please welcome Vincent.
All right. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. I'm pleased to announce 4 new library staff. We have a couple, if they could stand up, whoever is here, okay. So we have Rebecca Russell, who's one of our new librarian 2s. I also want to introduce Miguel Jimenez. He is our library technology coordinator. We have Brittany Batala, who's a library clerk, and another library clerk, Christina Villegas. So we're pleased to have the staff, and we welcome them.
Great. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I want to introduce everybody to Giselle Villalobos. You may have seen her riding her bike or perhaps walking during Ciclovia and on social media. She comes with really great energy and great experience with a media background, and we're so excited to have her as part of the communications team.
Great.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jim Ahrensdorf with the Police Department, and pleased to announce that we have a new employee in our Records Division, Natalie Carbonall. I don't believe Natalie's here, but she started September 16th as a police services technician in our Records Department. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members. I do have one new member in the Public Works Department, Aaron Williams. He is supposedly here someplace. There he is, over in the corner. He's an engineering aide, so it's welcome help for our engineering department. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other department directors? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and we'll move on to our proclamations and welcome everyone. We're going to start with our Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week, October 7th through 11th, 2024. And we'll start with Councilmember Barrera.
Thank you, Mayor Rocha. I want to thank everybody, all the new employees that are here today. This is a fun place to work at. And there's a fun group of people up here at the front here. We're here to support you. Today is Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week. 7 days of appreciating code enforcement officers. I'm going to ask Mr. Lorenzo and his entire crew while I read this, if you could meet us in the middle here in front of the podium. Lorenzo and all your crew, all the code enforcement officers, your staff, right there, please. So as I'm reading this, we want to sincerely acknowledge your hard work because this is a difficult, you folks have a difficult job, and we want to honor you for doing a great service to the city of Salinas. Whereas the state of California has proclaimed the second week of October as Code Enforcement Officers in appreciation to you in front of us. Whereas code enforcement officers provide for the health, safety, and welfare of the city of Salinas residents through the enforcement of local, state, and federal laws and ordinance dealing with various issues of building, zoning, housing, environmental, health, and life and safety. Now, you guys got a big task. Whereas too many times their efforts go unnoticed, even after code compliance has been accomplished due to their efforts and expertise. Whereas code enforcement officers are dedicated, highly qualified, and highly trained professionals who share the goals of preventing neighborhood deterioration, enhancing communities, ensuring safety, and preserving property values through knowledge, training, and application of housing, zoning, and nuisance laws for residential, commercial, and industrial. And whereas the role of many code enforcement officers in front of us have expanded in recent years with jurisdictions increasingly relying on the expertise and training of code enforcement officers in their communities. Whereas here today, the city of Salinas wants to recognize you, and we want to honor you as the code enforcement officers that you are and staff that serve our community, and we acknowledge your role in leading the way to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community. So thank you for that. Now, therefore, Mayor Pro Tem Anthony Rocha, on behalf of this Salinas Council, do hereby proclaim October 7th through 11th as Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week in the city of Salinas, and urge all residents to join in expressing appreciation for the dedication and outstanding service provided by these individuals who serve our code enforcement officers and all who support code enforcement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And Lorenzo, if you would like to say a few words.
Mayor Pro Tem, members of the City Council, it's been 9 years since that I've been here with the city, and best 9 years of my life working for the city of Salinas, and having such a great code enforcement team. Teams have been working really hard. Our staff right now consists of 5 code enforcement officers, actually 4 code enforcement officers, a senior, myself, and 2 admin. Past 3 months, we've incorporated our contract employees, Wildan, as part of the city in code enforcement, doing our vendor enforcement, working tirelessly Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sundays, working on our vendor enforcement program. We have been working with the police department, with SUBA, with the various vendors, education, outreach, and in some cases, confiscation and citations. They've been able to take over 100 pounds of raw/cooked meat off the streets, issue about $2,000 worth of citations, and hundreds and hundreds of contacts throughout the 3 months that they've been doing this. Our code enforcement team, housing inspections, blight inspections, the list that you just mentioned just goes on and on and on. And we couldn't do this job without the support of our council, without the support of staff, working with fire, working with fire prevention, and the community. So I just want to say thank you for this opportunity, and for recognizing our code enforcement staff this year for Code Enforcement Appreciation Week. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. And if you could stick around for a little bit, we're going to do the other proclamations that follow, and then we'll bring everyone up for pictures at the end. Thank you. We're going to move on to our next proclamation. It's National Fire Prevention Week, October 6th through the 12th, 2024. And this proclamation will be read by Councilmember Orlando Osornio.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Whereas the Salinas Fire Department is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living and visiting our city. Whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and the homes are the locations where people are at the greatest risk for fire. Whereas home fires killed more than 2,700 people in the United States in 2022, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and fire departments in the United States responded to 360,000 home fires. Whereas roughly 3 out of the 5 fire deaths happen in homes with either no smoke alarms or with no working smoke alarms. Whereas smoke alarms sense smoke well before you can, alerting you to dangers in the event of fire in which you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape safely. Whereas Salinas residents should install smoke alarms in every sleeping room, outside each separate sleeping area, and on every level of a home. And whereas the residents should make sure their smoke alarms meet the needs of all their family members, including those with sensory or physical disabilities. And whereas the residents should test smoke alarms at least once a month and practice a home fire escape plan to increase their likeliness of survival. Whereas Salinas Fire is dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. And whereas the 2024 Fire Prevention Week theme, smoke alarms, make them work for you, serve to remind us the importance of having working smoke alarms in the home. So now, therefore, Mayor Pro Tem Anthony Rocha, on behalf of the Salinas City Council, do hereby proclaim October 6th through the 12th, 2024, as Fire Prevention Week in the city of Salinas, and urge all of the residents to check their home smoke alarms and to visit our local fire station this week to learn more about fire safety.
Thank you. Do we have a representative from the fire department here to accept the proclamation? Please.
Mayor Pro Temp and City Council, thank you very much for having us today. I think it's really important, first off, to introduce the amazing staff that I have. So standing next to Chief Clemic, we have Jessica Bardwaj, Yara Del Ria, and Brianda Palacios, and then Fire Inspector James Goulart, and 2 of our other fire inspectors that aren't able to make it tonight, Inspector Subia and Inspector Herrera. Thank you very much. Because of their support and their vast amount of knowledge and experience in this system, they are driving fire prevention towards its future and a very modern fire prevention future because of their support along with Chief Clemic's support. So I could not do the job without them as the fire marshal, so my hat is off to them every day as they support me in my duties and endeavors. I'd like to take advantage of this mic and invite you to our Fire Prevention Open House Week. We had an awesome event on Monday, which was at Station 1. We are celebrating the theme of, as Mr. Osornio said, smoke detectors, make them work for you. We've got another event tomorrow at Station 5, 1400 Ryder Avenue, where we will have an open house along with display and a public safety education campaign. And then on Friday, Station 6, just off of at 45 East Boulevard, come meet us. The events go from 3 to 5, hang out with the public and celebrate Fire Prevention Week. We appreciate your support of your fire department. And I'm amazed at every day what fire prevention does, not just to make our businesses, apartments, houses safer and the city safer, but also making it safer for our first responders that when they do have to respond to an emergency, knowing that fire prevention has worked through that business or that apartment complex to make sure that it is as safe as possible for them to go and fight a fire in that environment is extremely rewarding for me. So thank you very much. We appreciate your time and hope to see you out on Wednesday or Friday.
Thank you so much. And please don't go far because we're going to have pictures at the end of the proclamations. We're going to move on to Cybersecurity Awareness Month, October 2024. And this proclamation will be read by Councilmember Andrew Sandoval.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to invite our amazing IT staff and our directors here, Carlos Ortega, to come join him. Well, I'm going to take this moment as they come forward to tell you we have an amazing IT staff. I had a chance to visit them downstairs in the basement. Yes, our IT is in the basement. But they do a lot of critical work to keep all our systems going in the city of Salinas. You know, we only usually call IT when we have a problem. But they are doing so much, so many proactive things to keep our city functioning and, you know, and integrating all our departments. And so I'd like to recognize the director, but all the staff from the IT department, just saying you do an amazing job. Let me read this proclamation. It says, Cyber Awareness Month, October 2024. Whereas the City of Salinas recognizes it has a vital role in identifying, protecting, and responding to cyber threats that may have a significant impact on our residents and collective security and privacy. And whereas critical infrastructure, such as financial services, healthcare, energy, emergency response systems are increasingly reliant on the support of information systems and technology, and whereas cybersecurity, education, and awareness are crucial for any individual or organization, and that cybersecurity is essential to digital inclusion, where digital inclusion is vital to employment, participation, economic development, educational achievement, social and civic inclusion, health and well-being, and whereas the Stop, Think, Connect campaign is a national public education campaign aimed at raising awareness about cybersecurity, increasing the understanding of cyber threats, and empowering the American public to be safer and more secure online. And whereas maintaining the security of cyberspace is a shared responsibility in which we all have a critical role to play. By making ourselves aware of cyber threats and cybersecurity and adopting industry best practices that will improve the security of the City of Salinas and its residents, local businesses, and economy. Whereas the City of Salinas will promote innovation, strengthen cybersecurity investment, and enhance resilience across all sectors. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Pro Tem Anthony Rocha, on behalf of the Salinas City Council, do hereby proclaim October 2024 as Cybersecurity Awareness Month and encourage all residents to learn about the topic and to put that knowledge into practice in their homes, schools, workplaces, and businesses. Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome Carlos Ortega, our Director of IT.
Good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, and members of the public. My name is Carlos, IT Director for the City of Salinas. Thank you for the proclamation and recognizing Cybersecurity Awareness Month on behalf of the City of Salinas. Technology continues to play a pivotal role in transforming how the City of Salinas provides services to our residents, ranging from online permitting services to leveraging advanced data and analytics to support public safety and health initiatives. Cybersecurity is a call for all of us to come together as a global community to protect ourselves, our communities, and our country through good cybersecurity. I am joined here by our information technology team and would like to take a moment to recognize our accomplishments and unwavering commitment to protecting the city's critical infrastructure and technology systems. Some of those ongoing initiatives and accomplishments include development of comprehensive IT policies and procedures, cybersecurity awareness outreach and training, infrastructure and network security enhancements, backup and disaster recovery planning, threat analysis and mitigation strategies. Cybersecurity affects all of us, and together we can secure our world. If anyone would like to learn more about cybersecurity, they can visit cisa.gov/secure our world. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much, and don't go too far because we'll take pictures later. Thank you. We're going to move on to LGBTQ+ History Month, October 2024, and the proclamation will be read by Councilmember Carla Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And I believe we have Eric Mora of Salinas Valley Pride here to give some comments once we have the proclamation read. And if we'd also like to invite the Epicenter team as well, I think I see you calling them forward, and some members of the Salinas Valley Pride Board. LGBTQ+ History Month 2024. Whereas October is observed as LGBTQ+ History Month, celebrating the history and achievements of the LGBTQ+ community. And whereas LGBTQ+ History Month celebrates and commemorates those who fought for equal rights and services for the LGBTQ+ community, and is a means of educating others, promoting a culture of acceptance and inclusivity, and advancing equality for all. And whereas the path towards equality and liberation has been paved by courageous persons who have fought for the right to love and be loved, and their positive societal contributions of advancing areas of diversity, inclusion, equity, and respect deserve recognition. And whereas this month also presents an opportunity to gain insight on current inequities impacting the LGBTQ+ community, and what we can do as family members, friends, colleagues, and elected leaders to better support these individuals. And whereas LGBTQ+ History Month is a time to honor the invaluable ways this community of individuals have contributed to our common goals and the community as a whole. Now therefore, Mayor Pro Tem Anthony Rocha, on behalf of the Salinas City Council, does hereby proclaim October 2024 as LGBTQ+ History Month and invites the community to celebrate this occasion.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time to honor LGBTQ History Month. It really does so much for our community. It's a time for reflection of the incredible strides that we've made as a community. It's a reminder of the work that we still need to do. Personally, though, I think it helps combat this idea that we're somehow new, right? Like there's this underlying idea that somehow, because we have more visibility, that somehow our community is new, when in fact we've always been here. We've always been a part of Monterey County's rich cultural fabric. I'll keep my remarks really short because I know my colleagues from the Epicenter also want to say a few words. I just wanted to take the time to invite all of you, the City Council members, staff, members of the public, to join us for our 14th annual Salinas Pride, which will take place this Saturday, October 12th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Salinas Central Park. What I love about our event, it's such a reflection of our community. Everyone's bringing a little bit of their talents, their gifts, their services to the table. We have California Water bringing the water trucks so that we're hydrated at the park. We have the Epicenter providing entertainment, resources. Hartnell's providing parking, free parking at Hartnell. So it just ends up being a really wonderful reflection of our community. And I'll pass it on to my colleague, Jacob Agamal.
Thank you. Every day that we are here existing as LGBTQ+ people, we are making history. I was the first GSA president in Salinas in 2024 years ago. It was a really long time ago. And yeah, that sits with me, and it sits with my community and the people that know me in the community, and I feel very proud of that. And I want to sort of dedicate this to the people that came before me, that have been doing this work well before I was. And I also want to dedicate this to the loved ones that I lost to anti-LGBTQ+ violence. They're part of my history and part of LGBTQ+ history. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And stick around for pictures at the end. I appreciate that. Okay, we're going to move on to a City of Champions recognition for Jonathan Deanda, which I will be reading. Jonathan, if you could please come to the podium. And if your family would join you, that'd be great if they want to. Welcome, and thank you all for being here. It's truly an honor to be able to recognize you, Jonathan. I'm going to go ahead and read your biography, and then I'm going to give some comments. So Jonathan DeAnda is currently the general manager of the Salinas Regional Sports Authority, where he leads strategic initiatives to promote sports, wellness, and community development. With a Master of Science in Sports Management from the University of San Francisco and a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from the University of Notre Dame, Jonathan combines academic training with practical experience to drive positive change within the community. Before assuming his current role, Jonathan served as the field representative for then State Assemblymember Ana Caballero, now State Senator, where he gained valuable insights into policymaking and community advocacy. In his capacity, he honed his skills in communications, collaboration, and stakeholder engagement, which he continues to leverage in his work at the Salinas Regional Sports Authority. In addition to his role at the Salinas Regional Sports Authority, Jonathan is an active community leader, serving as a board member for the Salinas Valley Young Professionals Organization. In his capacity, he contributes to the organization's efforts to engage, empower, and connect young professionals in the Salinas Valley region, fostering a vibrant community of emerging leaders. Jonathan is also deeply involved in shaping the future of Salinas as a member of the City of Salinas 2040 General Plan Steering Committee. Through his participation in this critical initiative, he helps guide the city's long-term vision and strategic planning efforts, ensuring that Salinas remains a dynamic and inclusive community for generations to come. With a passion for leveraging the power of sports to inspire individuals and strengthen communities, Jonathan is dedicated to creating inclusive and accessible opportunities for individuals of all backgrounds to participate in sports and recreational activities. Through his visionary leadership and community engagement, he continues to drive positive social impact and promote holistic well-being in the Salinas community. A round of applause for Jonathan. Jonathan, and on a personal note, it is truly an honor to be able to recognize you as a City of Champions for the 6th District. I have known you for many years. We basically were neighbors growing up. I went to school with your siblings, and it's been amazing to watch you grow up and give back to the community. And in every role that you serve in, there is a very clear love for the people of Salinas, a love for the work that you do. And thank you for your passion. Thank you for sharing your undying spirit for our community with us. You truly make the 6th District proud and the whole city of Salinas. And it's my honor to represent you and to honor you with this award. And so I'd like to pass it on to you to share a few words.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mayor Pro Temp and City Council. I think really it's really an honor, and you know, I'm truly fortunate to be here with my parents here today. Mi mamá y mi papá, que siempre han sido mi apoyo desde chiquito. You know, just grateful for this recognition, and also want to acknowledge my team at the Salinas Regional Sports Authority, of course, our board members, and then our community partners, right? You know, including the city, because together I think it's you know, we're making that positive impact and that beautiful change in our community, right? So. Again, I just want to acknowledge that this is a contribution, a community effort, and I look forward to continuing this effort with all the community members to continue to foster, you know, different opportunities for our community members and especially our youth. So, again, thank you for this recognition and for the opportunity to be here today. And I'm sure my grandparents and my abuelitos are watching online, so saludos a mis abuelitos en México y mi fiancé y mi prometida. Thank you.
And make sure to stick around a little bit longer for pictures at the end. We're going to move on to a commendation for the Epicenter's 10th anniversary. And this is a request by the 3rd District Council member with the support of Council Member Gonzalez and myself. So if you could please go ahead and read the commendation.
The Salinas City Council would like to express gratitude to the Epicenter for your 10 years of service and dedication to our community. Your continued commitment to supporting LGBTQ+ and the community are a testament to your mission of empowerment, equity, and liberation for all. Thank you.
Good evening, Pro Tem Rocha and City Council members. My name is Sam Gomez. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I'm the Deputy Director at the Epicenter. I've actually been honored to be involved with the Epicenter for about 9 years now. I actually joined as a youth participant, and it was actually one of the first places where I felt like welcomed in the community and like I had a space to be myself. And being in this line of work, working with our young people, seeing them every day grow into young leaders and, hopefully eventually go into adulthood and be able to give back to our community and make a positive, lasting change. It just, warms my heart to be able to do this work and to see that come to life. And from a young person, involved with the program myself and being able to rise up and, really recognize that we have a voice and it's, we're able to use it and we have that empowerment. It's truly special. And so thank you so much for this honor, and I'm opening up to any of our amazing team members. I would like to share some words.
Hi, I'm a little nervous. My name is Danielle Gomez. I'm the youth navigator. My pronouns are she, her. I just started working at the Epicenter back in September, so it's only been probably like a month. I am for homeless, so it's for the youth that experience homelessness, domestic violence, or just need additional resources. Growing up in Salinas, I've had experience that. Homelessness basically my whole life, breaking those generational curses and those barriers. So I've been that youth and that needed that support that I'm being able to give to the youth now. So I'm really honored and thankful for this position I'm in to be able to do that, because it's something I've always wanted to do as a little girl, because I needed that person when I was that little girl. So to be able to do that for someone else is amazing. And I always say that I feel like when we go through what we go through in life and our journeys, it's always to be inspirational and to motivate someone else to keep going. So being that person on the other side now with that other person, it's going to be great. And I just want to say thank you to our community and thank you for what you're doing. And I'm glad to be a part of it now and to be able to be in the circle. So, thank you.
Hi, just one last thing. Rochelle Santoya, the Executive Director of the Epicenter, and I just wanted to take the time to really, really thank you for honoring us for the 10 years that we've been in service. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And stick around for photos. Thank you so much. And stick around for photos at the end. Alrighty. We're now going to move on to the photos. If we could have the code enforcement team come to the front, we're going to go ahead and stand up here for photos with the council.
Don't forget the certificates, sir. Is that real polyester? Or is that sheep?
Yeah, you guys can go up there. Oh. I'm in charge of taking pictures. Okay, nice and cozy. Yeah, for sure. Yes.
After.
What's oh, yeah. You're gonna be a president pretty soon. That's us.
Oh, Gancito, Marinela.
All righty, everyone, we're now going to move on to public comment. Public comment is for items that are not on today's agenda, but within the subject matter jurisdiction of City Council business. Public comment is limited to 2 minutes per speaker, and we'll start with public comment first in the council chambers, then we will go to Zoom. Public comment is now open. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Rocha and the Salinas City Council. Larry Hirohara, Salinas Chinatown. We would like to would like City Manager Renee Mendez to come to Chinatown to be hosted by the Salinas Downtown Community Board for a walking tour, opportunity to see the potential and challenges there, and get feedback from the Chinatown stakeholders about revitalization. The Salinas Police Department has responded to our requests for their greater presence. We understand that resources can be an issue. We have started a grassroots organization of Chinatown businesses, property owners, and social service providers with the support of the Salinas Police Department to collaborate on helping one another improve Chinatown. We have begun meeting and we have agreed to meet monthly. This collaborative police presence helps deter problems like open drug dealing and use, as well as trash and unsanitary issues. To reduce trash, the community will initiate some pilot programs to provide appropriate trash receptacles for this area. We have asked the city to assist us, if possible, providing some of these receptacles and in help servicing them. A couple of announcements. You have in your presence a flyer about the Asian Cultural Experience of Salinas, Salinas Tri-Tip Fundraiser, November 2nd. It's $50 for a tri-tip dinner. And the Buddhist Temple of Salinas is celebrating their 100th anniversary. It will occur on October 12th. Mayor Craig has already sent that proclamation to us, and Councilman Osonio will be there to present and represent the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Terry Fedena, and Mayor Pro Tem. I'm not used to seeing a Pro Tem. These flowers are, at 5 o'clock this morning when I was ironing, I was supposed to do this and give this to Mayor. And the reason why is because I've been coming for at least about a year, watching how you guys work together. I know there's problems, but I just want to thank you. And I wanted to be a thank you to her first, so hopefully she'll watch this. I don't know who the flowers are going to go to today. But when I get that kind of thought, I know it's not my thought, it's the Holy Spirit trying to convey to me that you need to thank the servants of your city, whether they do things correctly or whether they don't do things correctly. I still thank you for your service. And I just have a scripture that I want to read. But I want to say that each one of you are appreciated. And whether you come back and are voted back in, or you're not, and someone takes your seat, just know that you're a leader, and I'm going to encourage you to stay engaged in our city because we need you, because we see your heart, you know, and we just want to appreciate you. So I'm going to appreciate you for the city. I'm just going to stand here to do that. And so this is what Romans 5, this is what the Lord told me to bring. It's Romans 5:2 through, I believe, 5. It says, our faith guarantees us permanent access into the marvelous kindness that has given us a perfect relationship with God. What incredible joy bursts forth within each one of us as we keep celebrating our hope because of God's glory. This is a city of hope. We call it that when we pray, and I'm sure you do too. There's hope here. But that's not all. Even in times of trouble, we have joyful confidence, knowing that our pressures will develop in each one of us endurance and patience. And then patience, endurance will refine our character, and character brings hope. So thank you for what you do here. It really is an awesome thing.
And if you could leave the flowers with our city clerk, we'll make sure that they are delivered to our
Thank you
Mayor,
very
Kimberly Craig. Por favor. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Armida. This is my husband, Hernan Perez. On March 5th, 2024, we appeared before the City Council regarding zoning permit 1969003 to be amended to permit residential additions to the 124 existing single-family detached dwellings in Las Casitas neighborhood, which was approved. Due to time constraints, I won't detail the challenges we faced navigating the system. There were moments where we considered just giving up. We have since been informed that we need to resubmit our application because the original submission was based on previous building code cycle, which is now out of compliance. Due to the unforeseen complications in obtaining the necessary permits, we are now required to submit a new application under the new coding building codes. This presents significant financial hardship as we would need to pay our architect again to update the plans and also pay the planning department again for the application process, which is now significantly increased. We respectfully request that the $2,573 we paid in August 2023 to the City of Salinas Planning Department be honored and the permits be issued. Despite applying for permit extension or reinstatement, we were unfortunately denied. While we understand the city has invested considerable time and effort in updating zoning regulations, we believe it is reasonable to ask for some relief in this instance. Future applications for similar residential additions will still be required to pay permit fees, ensuring continued funding for the City of Salinas. Thank you for your time and consideration of our request.
Thank you, and if you could leave your information with our city clerk, we'll have someone follow up with you.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Rocha, I think, do we have somebody from the permit center?
Do we have someone from community development that can connect with a member of the public? We'll follow up. If you could leave your information, we'll follow up. Welcome.
Hello, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members, City Manager. My name is Eric Larson, and I am here on behalf of Iron Workers 377. The term local hire gets thrown around a lot these days, but it's important for you to understand how important local hire and union work is in our communities, in our city, and our workforce. When a highly skilled and trained workers like myself are put on projects, we are ensuring that men and women are earning fair wages and providing for their children and families' futures. It also means creating opportunities to open up doors for community members to start a career in construction. We have programs like Helmets to Hard Hats for military personnel. We have programs to help those that have been incarcerated, to give those looking for a second chance opportunities to improve their lives. Local hire union workers means a lot. And I want to emphasize that hiring local contractors, not out-of-state contractors, putting Salinas residents to work, that's what this Amazon project is about and what we're here for today to emphasize with you. And hopefully you'll carry that message tomorrow when you meet with Amazon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Philip Babbitt. I'm the president of Associated Rebar. Associated Rebar has been a small local rebar business in Salinas for over 30 years. We provide rebar fabrication and placing service to our local community and the greater Northern California area. Recently, we bid on the Amazon Project GO here in Salinas. This project consists of the type of work we have been doing for over 30 years. This project has a small business requirement and a local business requirement. Associated Rebar satisfied both of these business requirements, and not only that, but we also learned that we are the low bidder. Our low bid alone satisfied the small and local business requirements. Now, this is not our first Amazon project. We completed Project Almond in Hollister, California with great success. So why am I standing in front of you today? You're probably saying to yourself, this all sounds great, sounds like you got the job. But this might not be the case. We're being told that the developer is working out a deal on the side with a contractor from out of town and maybe forcing the general contractor to use out-of-town contractor. We're also being told that this out-of-town contractor was allowed to submit a lower bid number 6 weeks after the bid date. If this is true, this is a bad business practice for everyone. This out-of-town contractor is not a small business or a local business. So ask yourself, why is the developer pushing to use this out-of-town contractor so hard? We are asking you, city council members, to take a good look at this and protect Salinas from business coming to out of town, from big business coming from out of town and crushing our local small businesses. You might be asking yourself, how do I know this? Well, this out-of-town contractor went to our union asking them for support to come up here and do this project. And furthermore, asked the union for money so they can lower their bid number to beat our own number.
Thank you. Thank you. Your time has expired. Thank you. If you could leave your comments with the city clerk if they're available, or email it to us, I appreciate that.
Hello, Mayor Temp and the City Council. My name is Ricardo Monzo. I was born and raised here in Salinas, California, and I'm a son of migrant parents from Mexico, and I grew up on the wrong side of the foot, and I had a little criminal record, but I was blessed to get training from Local 377 Union and put me in the right path to start my family and try to get right back again with the community. And I have a testimony that I worked in the Hollister project, the Amazon, and everything went well. They treated me right. The union has gave me insurance for my 4 kids that I have, vacation pay, and everything is well. But I would hate for somebody else to come and take what's ours from the middle class. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Voy a dar mi testimonio en español, ¿está bien?
Un momento para traducción, por favor.
We have the translator on Zoom, and Anna's here too.
Mi nombre es Rodrigo Aguilar. Trabajo para Associated Rebar. Rodrigo Aguilar. Ok. Trabajo para Associated Rebar por acerca casi de 8 años. Y queremos trabajos locales aquí en Salinas que sean de unión, que todos podamos, los miembros de la unión que trabajamos aquí en Salinas, somos cientos de miembros. Queremos trabajar en este tipo de trabajos que son grandes proyectos innovadores para el pueblo, dan mucho trabajo aquí a los alrededores y se nos haría un poquito injusto que vengan personas de otros estados a tomar estos trabajos que nosotros tenemos la capacidad de hacerlos. Y creo que sería todo.
Gracias por su comentario.
Good afternoon. My name is Rodrigo Aguilar, and I've been working with the company for over 8 years. So we need local jobs. We need union jobs for all the members. There are 100 members that are working here in Salinas, and we need bigger jobs that are innovating, and that we can give lots of jobs of different people. I think it's unfair for people to come out of state and take the jobs that we need. So we need to keep our jobs local. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Denise Estrada, representing the First Mayor's House of Salinas. I'm here today to let you know that we have got an event that we'd like to invite you to and the public. It's a pre-Halloween event, mostly for the little kids, a family event, and it is scheduled on October 25th and 26th in the evening. I've left flyers with the city clerk. We hope you will all come. If you know some little ones, this is especially for them to provide a safe and fun environment when they may not feel safe going out on the streets with trick-or-treating. So you are invited, and we'd love to have you there. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
My greetings to City Council of Salinas. My name is Filimon Pilanca. I'm a veteran of the United States Army, and I am an ironworker. I'd like to introduce to you the ironworkers, because we're signatory. We have ideals where we train and we lead our workers to be skilled ironworkers. This, in fact, because we are skilled, we're unionized. I'd like to introduce to you the idea of maintenance, where we teach people about our skills. This is one of the facets that makes a better worker. We get all the benefits of being a skilled worker. You get the benefits to raise your family, feed your family. Feed your family, and then again, live in a safe community. We try to be that type of a worker, unionized and organized. Whereas if you bring in somebody that may not have these skills, and we all say, what kind of skills do you have to do the job? You have a skill, you have a skill, you have a skill. But you bring in these outside contractors, yet their standard might be to here. So it causes a lot of insight when we, as ironworkers, introduce to you a skilled technician, a skilled laborer, a skilled, i.e. tradesmen in every facet of being organized. We are organized right now, right here in this room, organized as a society, okay? Subcontracting is something else, okay? I'm just setting up a guideline to say, okay, we're organized. Let's be organized. So to make this short, I think my presentation to you as an ironworker, Local 377 San Francisco, that's been here for a long time. I've built buildings from San Francisco all the way down to the football stadiums, and now we're going to Salinas. My presentation to you is because I'm an ironworker, and I support where we stand and who we represent as a member and as a community.
Thank you.
Okay, a way to teach and raise the next generation of men who wants to be ironworkers or any tradesman.
Thank you. Your time has expired.
Focus about something, okay? Unionize.
Thank you. Your time is up. I
appreciate it.
appreciate that. Thank you.
For your time.
Welcome.
Afternoon, Mayor, Council. My name is Kyle Callaghan. I'm a union ironworker and a Salinas homeowner. I'd like to share with you a little bit about my experience. As most ironworkers here, we work 100 to 150 miles away as one way every day. My trip is usually 3 to up to 5, 6 hours on the road every day, up to the mercy of traffic, but that's just a little bit about that. It leaves me with very little time with my new fiance and my new baby. It's something that, was really important to me moving to Salinas is the community that my wife has here. And so being able to provide, but not to be able to share in that time and the luxury of being home is a hardship that I just want to convey to you guys. Yeah, I just want to ask all you guys with power here to just think about the community and the generations of residents that you affect by promoting local business here, local work here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, staff. My name is Jorge Rojas. I represent Monterey County Soccer Club. We're the largest soccer organization in Northern California with 300 plus teams and increasing. The dilemma we're facing is that we don't have enough fields for our kids. We did an MOU with Pajaro Valley at Watsonville to be able to accommodate our children, but that seems to be not enough because we're increasing in numbers. And I came and asked the city for assistance, and we were able to get some help from Matt from the airport, who was helping us, and we appreciate that. I'm also here just to clarify and also discuss about some hypothetical allegations made by some gentlemen, Antonio Braga and Jose Guerra, keep sending emails to department heads and staff claiming that we are having adults play on the fields. Not true. That we have vendors on the fields. Not true. That I've been sharing the kids with our coaches. Not true. The only thing we're guilty of is one Sunday we did play past 5 p.m., and that was brought to our attention, and we clarified that because it was a delay in game. But our children should not be punished, and we should not lose the privileges of playing where they live in that community. Montebella is a community park that's enjoyed by the whole community, and not just the ones in Montebella, but from the city of Salinas. So this group needs to stop and put their efforts somewhere else. As far, like for example, adults are drinking in the park. They should approach them. They should not be approaching our families and kids and telling them they shouldn't be practicing or playing there. They are not the owners of the park. That should be a park for everyone to enjoy. And I just want to clarify that their issues are nothing but redundancy, and that needs to stop. We can't be coming here to a city and explaining everything. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem, City Manager, and City Council. My name is Carrie Swenson, and I'm here as a local business owner and Instructor at Hartnell. I'm here in support of the local Iron Workers 377. We need to have, it's important that we stay local. As a small business owner, I have a lot of friends who have small business. We need to build with our own people so we can put back into our community. If you bring in contractors from outside, they tend not to spend their money here. We need to have it local. It's important for small businesses. It's important for our youth, right? They need to know they can have these jobs. I work with youth. They don't want to travel 150 miles. If they hear that, they may not want to join a union. So we really, really need to keep it local. It just gives back to our community. Amazon can pay for it. Amazon, they need to. I'm from Seattle. I know what Amazon did to Seattle. Don't let it do them to Salinas. We need to negotiate with them so that we keep everything local and support our local businesses. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Neil Zash. I am the district representative for Operating Engineers Local 3. I represent over 5,000 construction workers that live throughout the communities in the surrounding areas of City of Salinas. I'm here to urge you, the board, to be the greatest of all time, GOAT. You have an opportunity here to ensure that this project, the GOAT project, is built by local people that are getting paid a prevailing rate with health care and retirement. A dollar earned in the community is spent in the community. This is Salinas, rich in values, rich in land. Keep the community rich in the community. A dollar spent here is a dollar earned. Thank you.
Worthy Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members, your staff. Renee, good to see you. It's been a while. Manny Panera, I'm with Monterey, Santa Cruz County Building Construction Trades Council. Indigenous to the area here. I've been here 62 years. I got to retire in dignity. I was an operating engineer, retired 33 years. I got to go at 55. It's real important here that these developers of Amazon, owners, developers, we've reached out to you on a press conference and you've never come forward. Call us to the table. There's nothing to be scared of at all. We're here to work together, keep jobs, union jobs here locally with a skilled, trained workforce that are training the future kids in the community to get into a trade. Not all kids are going to go to a 2, 4, 6, 8 year and get a degree, but they have a trade and opportunity and they can retire with dignity. And with dignity goes good wages, good union benefits, and that retirement. I'm telling you, I love it. Take all the pictures you want of me out in that parking lot. I'm known locally, stately, nationally, and internationally. I'm proud to say that I'm trilingual. Come to the table. We want to meet with you. That's how we operate. Thank you.
Hi, Mayor Roca, Council. My name is Bruce Giesick. I'm with Giesick Concrete. I'm a Northern California contractor. I've worked with Ryan Companies on this project for the last 3 months. I just want to speak to them. Their integrity has been above reproach in everything we've done. They've been mindful to having the proper labor harmony with the unions. I'm teamed up with the iron workers on this job. I'm also signatory to the laborers, and we'll be pulling union laborers out of here locally, out of the local hall. I'm not sure that Amazon is even aware of the issue that's going on here. I haven't talked yet to those people I know at that level, but I know that the local contractor, the local concrete guy is going to be using local union labor, also as well as using local pumping and excavation. It was kind of a surprise to us last week that we didn't even have the job. This was a recent development, and the out-of-town contractor who has a previous relationship with the developer, was able to talk to them directly. But as far as Ryan's part in this, they've been above reproach and operated in complete integrity. Thank you.
Good afternoon, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, City Manager, City Attorney. Just first off, this is Luis Chago Juarez for Building Other Communities. Really want to express our gratitude to the City Council for the achievement of the rent stabilization ordinance. So just wanted to express that. Also, you know, our conditions are still, the conditions of our streets are, and many others, there's a list, but I'm just, I guess just in terms of speaking for me and my immediate neighbors, you know, if there's something that we can do to help process the filling of our potholes, that'd be awesome. But most importantly is the support for our local unions. I think maybe when tomorrow, if we can reference Salinas, Race and Resilience, the book by Dr. Carol McKibben. There's just so many points of labor history attached to this city, to our community. You could point all the way to the enslavement of African Americans in that history itself, and following what the Chinese community has happened, what they had to experience, what the Filipino community had to experience in the 30s during the Great Lettuce Strike, and then in 1970 when Cesar Chavez was arrested by the Monterey County Sheriff because they weren't allowed to unionize. What we're seeing here, this Amazon is an opportunity for them to learn our history, that this is a union town, and these are my neighbors, and we need to make sure that our local labor force is centered and protected. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ana Ramirez. I'm here on the representing the children. I love working with kids. Part of my job is working with kids. I work as a teacher assistant, but then I also have a club where we're 10 teams, about over 250 children. And I'm here just representing the kids. Whatever is being said about kids, it's not true, because us as coaches, as a parent, as a leader, as, you know, just working with kids, I mean, I've been doing this over 20 years at my job working with kids, but 14 years working with soccer, you know, just the kids, having them in sports, keeping them active, healthy, and away from violence, mainly violence. I mean, Salinas is a big town, it's growing, but then also our sports are growing, and we really want to keep these kids active. And I really appreciate if you guys would do something about the situation. I just don't want the kids to feel, you know, that they're growing, being intimidated by elder people. I just don't want them to feel intimidated. Everything that's being said, it's not true, because I do teach the kids and I do remind them every day. You know, we do have rules, we follow the rules. You know, I was born and raised in Salinas, so I know what the East Side is all about. You know, and I really hate the fact that the kids, I don't want them to grow in violence. I want them to keep active. I mean, sports are good for them. I mean, I don't see anything bad. You know, I mean, I just feel sad. That's why I'm here. And if I have to be here again for the kids, I'll be here for them. I'm their voice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Wes White, Salinas Monterey County Homeless Union. Also do a YouTube channel called John Doe 13K. I'm here because I tried to attend a campaign event by Aurelio Salazar, District 6, and Dennis Donahue running for mayor. At this place, you know, I go to everything. And if you know me, you already know I video everything. If it's in a public domain, I'm there. If I know about it and I have the time. So I was greeted with this guy who was verbally assaultive to me. You know, like I opened the door to hear what he was saying, but he took it upon himself to cross his vehicle to my vehicle to inside my door. And this is a kind of hostility, and I've heard this is a pattern too. You know, he got within, you know, arm's reach of me on multiple occasions, telling me, later saying that he was intimidated and harassed. But obviously, he's the aggressor. And it kind of goes with this moneyed slate of over $600,000 that is for these 5 races coming up this election. I am hoping that the electorate is wise enough that they don't want to see this kind of out of control behavior happen. And even the Donahue, the boss, you know, was kind of like an owner letting the dog off the leash. Go ahead, bite him. You know, I mean, this is what we're looking forward to if we do elect this moneyed slate that is also backed by big money. Also, the same people who brought Ron DeSantis to town. They're up to no good. What they want to do is make more money for themselves off the back of everybody else. And like they said, it's a union town. We're the backbone. We're a community, and that's the way it needs to stay. So hopefully we get a resounding vote. Please vote community. Alex Ayala, Kerry Swenson, Jesus Valenzuela, Orlando Orsonio, Anthony Rocha, and Chris Barrera for mayor.
Welcome.
Anthony, how are you doing?
I'm well.
Rest of you? My name is Rod Smalley, Senior Business Agent for Operating Engineers Local 3. So we're discovering that somebody's being an unfair player. That's not good for our town. It's not good for our members. It's not good for our community. You hold the key to the city, about time you lock that door and figure out what's going on. Right? It's just not right, don't sound right, don't smell right. So what are we going to do about it? What are you all going to do about it? And you, young lady, right? It just ain't right when I have contractors telling me, hey, we don't know if we got the bid, but the bid results are already in. But then somebody else comes in bid lower? That's under your watch. What are you going to do about it? Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Name is Eric Peterson. And this afternoon, I would just like to take a moment and recognize Sergeant Jim Godwin, who's our police sergeant out in the lobby. Jim has been to dozens and dozens of city council meetings, and he's going to retire soon. And this is supposed to be his last meeting. And a couple things about Jim. First of all, he's an example of somebody who's a nice guy who became a police officer. And the other thing is, you know, we talk, and whenever we disagree, he turns out to be right. It's almost embarrassing. But I definitely have appreciated conversations with him over the years. I say he's a nice guy. And on your way out, give him a thank you, give him a wave, and I definitely have appreciated him being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. What an issue tonight, you know, for the first time. This whole Amazon thing, everyone on this side of the room over here is in agreement. And I think that this is a really good opportunity during an election cycle here, a few of you guys all up on an election, to see what you're going to do here. This is an opportunity for this council here to stand with our people and to say no. And maybe there's something so bad here, sounds like there's some maybe corrupt activity going on. This developer needs to be looked at. Maybe this thing needs to just be stopped for a moment. I mean, we got time. Land's not going anywhere. The deal's not going anywhere. They need Salinas. We don't need them. And I think that this is a great opportunity for each one of you to show how committed you are to the people and the constituents of this community. And you got Yago up here agreeing with all of us. We're all together. Are we together? Are you together with us? Mr. Callahan and Renee getting thrown into a deal right out of the gate, right? We do have very capable people up here, no matter what the rhetoric's been in the past. And I ask each of you to stand with our community, with our union. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Peter Zelay, North Salinas. In this campaign season, I'm concerned the politics around public safety is unhelpful. Candidates have reduced public safety to raw numbers of police officers, a simple percentage of the budget, or promises to fully staff police, whatever that means. The more is better argument. More than what? It's not clear how many police officer positions are funded in the budget, how many officers have actually been hired, and what happens to money allocated but not spent for officers not hired. Similarly not transparent is the total cost of each officer: salary, benefits, incentive, overtime, retirement, training. And better how? Debate centered only on the number of officers and the percentage of the budget for police does not allow us to intelligently or transparently assess the need for and results of more money going to police, especially in terms of total expense, how police dollars are spent, the impact on other priorities, and whether public safety can be improved in ways additional to police. I ask current and would-be leaders to focus on the larger issue of public safety, police being one part of the solution. And in being one part of the solution, resources may very well need to be increased. However, if more is indeed needed, the need should be detailed not in terms of arbitrary numbers or platitudes, but rather with specificity and transparency, and how more is indeed better. And for pity's sake, questioning more is better doesn't mean you're anti-police or you're protecting gang members in your family. It doesn't mean you're dysfunctional either. Shouldn't leaders and the public be allowed to ask questions? Isn't scrutiny an essential part of good governance?
To all the people in this building, hope this moment finds you in good spirits and good health. People, the gap between the haves and the have-nots is getting larger every year. Elected officials in all levels of government who gallantly work to prevent this social atrocity are outmatched by big monies shamelessly designed to buy elections. Please read the article in here. It's a very good article that explains what I am talking about. This is unethical. In a true democracy, it should be illegal. It creates social distrust, unrest, and uncivil behavior. It starts with confusion, followed by anger, then bad decisions, and finally to verbal and/or physical assaults. Such was the case last week at a public meeting in Creek Bridge Shopping Center for Dennis Donahue and Aurelio Salazar. Mr. Salazar lost his temper. He verbally assaulted Wes White and physically assaulted Andrew Sandoval. Both Dennis Donahue and Aurelio are supported by big business. Thank you very much. Oh, we have to come together, unite, organize, and take care of this situation immediately. Thank you.
Good evening, council members. Jose Guerra, Montevilla community. I want to say thank you for trying to close the park on time. Thank you, Mr. Mendez, reaching out. Ms. Lindquist, thank you for reaching out. Tony, we need you to reach out a little bit more, but I know you're working on it. We need more. I think we need security down there. We have kids out there late. I send everybody videos. I know I probably bored you to death. I don't care. It's my community. People can say what they want. They don't live there. You can play soccer there. That's fine. I mean, you don't live there. You don't pick up the garbage. You don't do all that stuff. I mean, but we need some help. We need your help. I mean, I'm not fighting you guys. I want to work with you guys. I've been trying to do that. But we need to close those gates, lock the bathrooms. And there's cars getting trapped in there, I know. And I don't know how they're getting them out, or they're getting them out the next day. But it doesn't matter. Then from there, I'm going to go to code enforcement. We need help in code enforcement also. You know, Mr. Gonzalez, I've reached out to you many a time through email. I never got a response back. At least Mr. Mendez got back to me. Tony gets back to me. You know, Ms. Lindquist gets back to me. Code enforcement needs to do their job there. When they double park, triple park, when they block the fire hydrants. You know, also, Mr. John Murray's not here. God bless him and his police department. They're shorthanded, but I need them to do their job also. I mean, when I see a police officer leave the park, I got it on video, and there's people still in the park. I mean, 12, 13 deep, 14, 15 cars in there. No disrespect, but, you know, you didn't clear out the park. It's 30 minutes before dusk, not whenever you want to leave. People should be held accountable for that. So we need to do that. And, you know, I'm not going to make a comment on Mr. Rojas' allegations, because I have evidence. I have proof.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good evening. I think that all the communities in Salinas should be monitoring and watching their parks and their neighborhoods, and should be, you know, actively working towards keeping our neighborhoods from becoming worse or digressing or more activities that are illegal occurring. So, you know, keep up the good work, partner. That's how you do it. There's a couple of opportunities that were presented tonight. One is we had some people that were filling out paperwork in order to be able to build. We all know that some of these processes take a long time, but if they ran out of time and have already paid to have their stuff looked at, let them finish their project without charging them again, because that money may stop their project, and there may be some accountability on the city side for the reasons why they weren't able to move forward. So you have an opportunity to help these people. It's $2,500. It means absolutely nothing to you, because all you're doing is allowing for them to be able to continue with their paperwork. The Amazon thing is pretty interesting. If you can't support your communities, if you can't support jobs, if you can't support, you know, people being able to optimize employment so they can go home and enjoy their fiance and their family, then you're really not able to support what would be considered to be the heart or the core of the community. You know, I don't know what people feel about unions, but I do know that there was many people that came out tonight that were nervous, that were uncomfortable, and they did speak up and they did communicate to you, even though it may have been hard. And I hope that you do listen and assist.
Thank you. Is there any other members of the public who'd like to speak in public comment? If there are any other members, can you please line up behind the podium? Thank you so much, and welcome.
Good evening. Hi, Anthony, and members of the council. So what brings me out here tonight is, first of all, I'd like to say that I am supporting all the union labor that is here tonight. Labor is the backbone of our community, of our country. We have seen way too much outsourcing that has gutted this country and left people in extreme poverty, without jobs, without housing, and without labor. Where are we? Without good wages, how do we build a family? How do we send kids to college? How do we build a future and leave something to our kids? All of those things have been achieved through good labor jobs. You need to be supporting this labor. Now, this backdoor deal that I'm hearing about is the problem. And this is, you know, this also, I'm going to tie this into something that just happened with a member of a videographer, Wes, attending a public meeting, another member of city council attending a public meeting of 2 candidates running for council, happens to be in my district. I must be guilty of the same thing, because I'm everywhere. Whether it's listening to Water on the Peninsula, going to Half Moon Bay to support farm workers, here with my dad when Cesar Chavez was locked up as a child, I'm everywhere. So I must be guilty of the same thing. And it sets a dangerous precedence when I see media taking an issue of, was that your district? Should you have been there? Isn't that the same way of saying to the community, stay out, you're not invited? I'm sorry, but the community is always invited, whether it's in this room, whether it's a county board of supervisors, whether it's downtown on some issue, because as we see, This is where these deals get made, when we're not paying attention. And besides, those are public spaces. So if you want to do those backdoor deals, do them. We know they go on all the time. This is very much an Amazon, big money, $10,000 down versus the little guy who can say, Señor, nomás tengo $5 para darle. I only have $5 versus people who throw down 10,000 and up. Thank you for your time.
Buenas tardes a todos ustedes.
Buenas tardes.
Mi nombre es José Albor. Algunas veces en el pasado vine. Ahora vengo con algo diferente, queja, más que nada, ¿verdad? Ante ustedes, gobernantes de la ciudad de Salinas. Yo compré una propiedad en Laurel Tom Owners Association, aquí en La Laurel. Esa propiedad la rento a otras personas, que son mis renteros, ¿verdad? Resulta que ahí le cobran el agua a los renteros. Pero en este mes 10, día primero, se mandaron. Le están cobrando lo triple del bill. Aquí traigo las pruebas en papeles. Mes 10, mes 9, mes 8 y mes 7. 3 meses atrás. Que los 3 meses más o menos coincide. Pero este mes 10, día primero para pagar, se mandaron en el bill $177 con centavos de esa unidad. Las mismas personas, porque yo inspecciono la unidad porque no me conviene tener demasiada gente. Muy sencillo, los baños se destruyen con mucha gente en una casa. Se destruyen lo primero. Y las otras cosas. Yo trabajo en construcción. Bueno, sé lo que es ese trabajo. Y se me hace, yo estoy abogando por ellos, por los renteros, porque se me hace, pues no, bien. En este mes día primero pagar $177, aquí tengo el bill, y lo tengo en papeles, no es que yo sea mi palabra, de agua nomás. Híjole, le dije, ¿por qué tanto? Mire, puede ver aquí el agua. 177.66.
Gracias por su
Cuando
comentario.
era $66 todo el tiempo para atrás.
Gracias por
Hablo
su
con
comentario.
ellos, ignoración.
Gracias, ya se acabó el tiempo, vamos a hacer la
Muchísimas
traducción.
gracias por su atención. Yo fui a la ciudad a buscar ayuda, me mandaron acá arriba, busqué
Gracias.
ayuda, no hubo nadie.
Si puede dejar su información aquí con la secretaria del concilio, entonces vamos a
Bueno,
ponernos
muchas
en
gracias por su
contacto con
ayuda.
ustedes.
Les agradezco su trabajo. Disculpen, ¿verdad? Y
Si puedes dejar su información aquí, entonces
gracias,
nos ponemos en
muchísimas
contacto
gracias.
con ustedes.
Ujú.
Gracias por su comentario.
Voy a decir lo que usted dijo. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jose Albor, and I'm here with a different type of complaint. I'm here before you, governors of Salinas, because I bought a rental unit in Laurel, and I rent it out to my tenants. And the thing is that this month, their water bill is triple of what it normally does. I have all the documents here. I have all the bills. I have from October, September, August, 3 months back. And this month, they're going to pay $177 plus change. That is too much. I inspect regularly the unit I rent out, because I don't want a lot of people living in the unit, because if there's too many people, then the unit gets destroyed, the bathrooms. I work in construction, so it's something that I'm always checking. But I'm here in behalf of the tenants, because normally they pay $66, and right now, as you can see here, it is $177 with 66 cents. I've been trying to get in touch with somebody, I've been trying to get help, and I've been ignored. So I'm basically here in behalf of the tenants because this water bill is outrageous. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public that would like to comment during public comment in the council chambers? Seeing none in the council chambers, we're now going to go out to Zoom for public comment. And we'll start off with 831-915.
So good afternoon, council members. This is Eloise Shim speaking, and I just wanted to make the comment about, I want to reiterate what Ms. Estrada, Denise Estrada, and Larry Hirahara talked about. So both with the first mayor's house to support that. I wish the community would support that, and also the Chinatown thing that they're going to do on November 2nd for $50. I think it's long overdue that that Chinatown is going to have a Chinese museum at the Republic Cafe. And so, yeah, I'm supportive of that. And I also wanted to say that I think it's really a bad thing that we don't have a police chief for so long, because we've had a number of very worthy candidates. There was an Asian man who was a good candidate. He was rejected. And now the police chief, Murray, he was a good candidate and he's rejected. And I really don't understand why the city cannot find a proper sheriff, police chief. So thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. We're now going to move on to Keith Collins. Keith, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, council and Mayor Pro Tem. My name is Keith Collins. I'm with Collins Housing Solutions and Collins Consulting, and we are new to Salinas, and we will be partnering with Victory Mission, who, as you may know, is a emergency men's shelter there in Salinas, and we will be helping them expand their services to include housing navigation and housing retention services, as well as we will be attempting to build and develop more affordable housing for those who are homeless. We're trying to also expand the capacity of the shelter to include women and youth who are experiencing homelessness as well. And I would like to reach out to each of you all at some point to get to know you all and get your support for some of our ventures and to get information and to help us expand the housing stock and get people off the streets. And I'd like to give my last few minutes to my wife, Tamiko Collins, to talk about a fundraising event. Thank you.
Hi, Tamiko Collins. And
Can you give me 1
like
second,
to
please? We're
invite
gonna
everyone-
hold on. We're gonna restart your time, and we're gonna give you 2 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Tamiko Collins, and I would like to cordially invite everyone to the grand opening and barbecue fundraiser for Helping Hand Secondhand Store, taking place on Saturday, October 19th at 956 Park Row in Salinas. The ribbon cutting will take place from 12 until 1 p.m. and Steve McShane will be hosting that. The fundraiser and barbecue event is from 11 until 4 p.m. The store will be open for everyone to shop, and this is Victory Mission that is hosting this. All the proceeds will go right back to Victory Mission and provide various services for the community, including hot meals and beverages and desserts Monday through Friday. Victory Mission also distributes pre-made food bags from the Monterey County Food Bank daily to families and individuals, and also hygiene kits are available by request 365 days a year. Also, we want to give a shout out to the barbecue, the people that will be providing the barbecue, which is Cree's Barbecue and Soul Food. We're going to have music, raffles, a big jump house for kids, face painting, and much more. So if we could get everyone out to celebrate, that would be great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll now move on to Robin. Robin, if you could unmute yourself, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I wasn't aware that the council would be meeting with Amazon tomorrow, so my comments are kind of on the fly. I will say that at the very least, there should have been a town hall meeting before this project advanced to its current status. I encourage everyone to go to Monterey County Weekly's website, aka Monterey County Now, and read the publications about Amazon. It's shocking how this deal came together. I also highly encourage everyone to look at the video, How to Stop an Amazon Warehouse from Taking Over Your Town. It's posted on YouTube. And it's shocking to me that this council hasn't done anything to try to prevent this warehouse from being built. In the video, for anyone who watches it, you'll see that Tara Lawson-Reamer, County Supervisor of San Diego, was able to do just that by holding Amazon accountable. And Amazon is known for not providing livable wages. And isn't that, in fact, what many people face by being farm workers? So for our city to expect to get out of this perpetual cycle of low-paying jobs, we need a council that is willing to stand up and not just appease certain segments of our community, but to look at the broader picture and stand up for the well-being of our overall community. And by not intervening and not trying to stop this building of Amazon, you're really hurting the entire community. And this is a broad issue affecting our community, and just doing 2.75% for rent stabilization
Thank you for your
targets
public comment.
landlords.
And as a point of clarification, I've been asked by the city manager to share with the public that the city council as a legislative body will not be meeting with Amazon or its representatives tomorrow, but rather the city manager as the chief executive for the city will be meeting with Amazon and its representatives. Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who'd like to comment via Zoom? I see a hand raised from Jose L. Please unmute yourself. You have 2 minutes.
Hello, City Council. I am a local community organizer, and I hope that tomorrow the city planner stands up for our community. Amazon is known to provide unfair wages to people. They are union busters, and I think that a big project like that happening in our backyard, we deserve to have a voice. And I just encourage everyone to support our local steelworkers, our local union members, who hopefully will be able to build this Amazon facility. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public that would like to speak during public comment? Seeing no further hands raised, we'll go ahead and close public comment at this time. City Council, we're now going to move on to our consent agenda. There are 16 items on the consent agenda. Would any member of this council like to pull an item for a separate voter discussion? And I'll start with Councilmember Osornio.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha, if I can pull item 24-547 and item 24-569, please. That's going to be it.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes, 543, please. 554, 569, and 576. That's all.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Sandoval? Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes, 24,553, 24,562.
That's 553 and 562? Okay.
Correct.
Would any member of the public like to pull an item from consent? Mr. Mason, can you please?
581.
581. There are no 581s. Oh, financial claims. Oh, sorry. It's at the beginning. Any other member of the public? Seeing none, council at this time. Oh, thank you. We're going to go out to Zoom if anyone on Zoom would like to pull an item from consent for a separate vote or discussion. Please raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the city council. The items that have not been pulled for a separate vote include 592.
To approve? Second.
Let me read them first. 592, 512, 513, 527, 537, 545, and 564 and 577. Is that the motion to approve those items? Clarification from the maker of the motion? And all righty. So we'll go out for a roll call vote on the approval of the remaining items from consent.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha?
Yes.
Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the first item, which is 581, and that's David Masonev.
Hello, Council. David Masonev. This is an interesting thing. I was looking at it this today, and I have no problem with the values, but I just wanted to get it on the record that it's a $3,435,377.96 that you're going to approve. That's okay. My only concern is it doesn't show what department is spending it, and it doesn't show what the items are on the list. If you're going to really do a budget, or you're going to do something that's to inform the public, we need to know what it's being spent for, not who you have to pay. That's just my thing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your public comment. We'll move on to item 54. All right, and we'll take action on that item. Can I have a motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Osornio, second by Councilmember Valenzuela. Did you have something?
Pro Tem, I was gonna second it, but.
All righty.
But can somebody get to this gentleman afterwards? And
Yes, we will have someone follow up. Thank you. And we're going to go ahead and call for a roll call vote on the item.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha?
Yes.
Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to item 543, Second Amendment with Smith and Enright for Maintenance District's Landscaping. That is Councilor Tony Barrera.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Jacobs, always a pleasure to see you. Montevideo, just in general, there's always a small handful of very vocal people that are constantly saying we're not doing enough or whatever. So whenever I see Montevideo, I read your report, I support it, but could you just share a little bit of what they can see happen with this?
Well, most likely they won't see anything different happening. This is for unplanned issues. So if a tree, if a bush gets run over, or somebody pulls up some irrigation, or throws some trash on the ground that we weren't expecting, a limb is fallen off in the area that we maintain. So it doesn't specifically go to what they're doing. It's extra work that could have come up as the year goes on.
Okay, so just, so you're saying if there's debris on the street or something and it's going to get picked up?
Some of the stuff they do is pick up trash. I don't know that they pick up empty trash cans per se in Montebello, but there is some trees that we maintain there, is there some lighting that's maintained there, all within the assessment district. So if something happens to those that are outside the normal maintenance, we need a fund to actually pay for those so that they can get repaired.
Yeah, because sometimes we've been told that we take too long to pick up anything, so thank you. And I'm going to support you with that, so move to approve.
All right, thank you. We'll call for a roll call vote on that item.
Councilmember Barrera,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio,
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval, Councilmember Valenzuela,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha.
Yes. And
Motion
just for
passed.
clarification, that was a motion by Councilmember Barrera and seconded by Councilmember Osornio. We'll move on to ID 547, Amendment Number 2 to the Professional Services Agreement with Wallace Group for the Bronda Road Congestion Relief Project Phase 1, and this was pulled by Councilmember Orlando Osornio.
Yes, just if I can just get a brief description on the, for the public that's watching, just something brief about this item here, please.
Sure. So this item is really just to support the construction phase of this project. This is phase 1 of Bronda Road. So that's the roundabout at McKinnon, Bronda McKinnon. And what it would be is support from the designer to respond to any questions that come up during construction.
Thank you. Motion to approve?
Second.
That's a motion by Councilmember Osornio, seconded by Councilmember Barrera for approval. We'll call for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Barrera,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio,
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval, Councilmember Valenzuela,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. We move on to ID 553, the direct purchase of city vehicles. This was pulled by Councilmember Valenzuela.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jacobs. So just a really quick question on behalf of a constituent that asked. So how do we come up with that amount? He wants to find out.
Well, we base it on what the current market is right now, and then we actually ask for a contingency in there. But we have a statewide contract that we look at first, and then we also ask local folks if they can match that, and we go with the lowest price. But normally we take it off the state bid, and that's where we start our bid process at, or our amount at, and then we add a contingency to it.
Sounds good. And then that number, 767,000, et cetera, it is not to exceed, right?
Correct, yes.
Perfect. That is it. So motion to approve.
It's been moved by Councilmember Valenzuela, seconded by Councilmember Osornio for approval. We'll go ahead and call for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Barrera,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio,
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval, Councilmember Valenzuela,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. We'll move on to ID 554, acceptance of the East Market Street Cycle Track Quick Build Project, CIP number 9364, pulled by Councilmember Barrera.
You know, I support this project. My concern, because your report does say maintenance and responsibility, we're taking that over. I was riding my bicycle on Sunday going towards Ciclovia. The maintenance really concerns me. I think we got to figure something out on, there's already in certain areas, and this is a new project, but there's weeds, there's debris. So I don't know what it is that we can do to really make it, I know it's a safe route for bicyclists.
Safe routes to school.
Huh?
Safe routes to school.
Yes, but the street may be safe, but riding the bicycle is not. And we got to, I was talking to the city manager, we have to figure something out how to really maintain it and take, well, make it friendly where people want to ride their bicycle. Thank you.
Okay,
To
thank you.
approve.
Second. It's been moved for approval by Councilmember Barrera and seconded by Councilmember Osornio. Unless, did you want to provide a comment additional? All righty, so we'll do a roll call vote.
Councilmember Barrera,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez, Councilmember Osornio,
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval,
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. We'll move on to ID 562, 2022-2023 Pavement Maintenance Project, CIP number 9981, 9120, 9080, pulled by Councilmember Valenzuela.
Yes, just a very simple question. This is an amazing project. I'm very excited for it. Have we ever considered maybe doing like a town hall or something to let folks know, about the CIP, and also just, how it is that the city chose these streets?
So this is for acceptance, council member. Right. So this project was already approved. It came before you back in probably 2022. So at that point, we presented which areas we were going to be doing. Can you ask your second question?
Yes, the ability to just do a town hall, right? Just to let residents know about the amazing work that's going to be coming to their streets.
So I guess, yes, we can do something to that effect. At the time that we do projects, we do bring them before the council. And just to remind you, we did put together a 5-year plan. So that basically we are informing the city of the areas that we are looking to improve.
Perfect. But for folks that can't come to this meeting, maybe a meeting in their neighborhood.
Correct. We could probably take that on, yes.
Motion to approve?
It's been moved for approval by Councilor Valenzuela and seconded by Councilmember Barrera. We'll go ahead and call for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Next up, ID 569, new street sweeping routes and installation of parking restriction. It's been pulled by both Councilmember Osornio and Councilmember Barrera. We'll start with Councilmember Osornio.
Yes, so for the street sweeping pilot, if we can just get like a short description of what this item is, just a short for folks that are listening at home, please.
Sure. So according to our NPDES permit, we are required to put no parking restrictions on all high and medium priority streets in the city. We did an analysis according to sediment loading and curb access and pavement condition to determine a listing of our high priority areas, as well as choosing a location that was in a water quality monitoring drainage area. And so what has transpired is to improve our street sweeping, optimize our street sweeping program, we needed to change our street sweeping routes such that they no longer sweep both sides of the street on the same day. They sweep alternating sides of the streets on alternating days. So the street sweeping routes have all been revised. A pilot area for no parking restrictions has been chosen, which is in a high priority streets area. And so that is why we're coming to you this evening to ask you to approve the new street sweeping routes, the pilot area for no parking restriction signage, and the amount of money that is required to be appropriated to fabricate and install those signs.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. Councilmember Barrera.
Ms. Heidi, you're hitting a grand slam. Really appreciate your work. Man, but when you're dealing with city, it's expensive, huh? Like, I could see those no parking signs. I could go to my garage and start doing them, but $600,000, it's a lot of money. Well, not to exceed, so it'll probably be $599,000. But I have a comment. I was sharing with our good friend, the city manager. Right now we have signs, no parking signs already, or no parking at a certain area. I would encourage our staff as we work as a team that as we're getting ready to do this, that we start doing a soft education. Today I saw two cars being towed that have been there for 3.5 months. And it's like that in almost every block. There's always a car or something. So as we're going towards this, we can figure out a way how to start enforcing the signs. Otherwise, let's take the signs down, because if it says no parking and people don't respect the law when we don't enforce the law. So, but great work. I'm really excited about this. It's only taken us my child was 1 year old, now it's 12, so it's been a long time. And, but thank you, and I strongly support it. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you. Well, approved. Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded with the motion by Councilmember Barrera, second by Councilmember Gonzalez. Did you want to share anything?
Oh, no, I just wanted to thank you all for your support. This has been a crazy ride. And so
Yes.
I wanted to let you know, Councilman Barrera, that the potential for the signs costing less is there. And this was just an initial cost proposal.
Great.
We will sit and reevaluate where we can place signages to try and make it less.
Thank you.
Oh, there will also be localized outreach in the pilot area, door knocking, various community events. So
Alrighty.
it will be concentrated, and we're also holding a meeting with the police chief to, so Sophie and myself and the police chief are meeting to discuss
Great.
abandoned vehicles, et cetera, and how we can work on the enforcement around that.
Thank you. And Mayor Pro Tem, if I may, and thank you, Heidi, for that. So when we're ready for the door knocking, these people have been having a lot of practice, so we're going to help you out. Door knocking.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Congratulations on all of your hard work. We'll call for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Next up, ID 576, lease agreement with Advanced Tech Aircraft Maintenance Incorporated, and it's been pulled by Councilmember Barrera.
Yes, and thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I think every time I see a report from the airport, I like to hear it because there's a lot of great things happening at the airport, so thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Just, if you can just, I read the report, if you can just share a little bit about the investment here.
Sure, it'd be my pleasure. Mayor Pro Tem, Council, good evening. I am pleased to bring this forward to you for this lease amendment here. What makes this a really good home run for the city of Salinas and the airport is that this is heavy maintenance for aircraft. This is heavy maintenance for jets, turboprops like King Airs, single-engine turboprops. They don't have this service in Monterey. They don't have this in Paso Robles. The closest place, if you have your own jet and turboprop, is San Jose. And so not only does that provide services for jobs, but also we pump fuel when the airplanes come in. They tanker up with the cheap fuel here, and we get a fuel flowage fee of 12 cents or 13 cents per gallon. So we're very excited to have them renew this lease here, and they've been in good standing, as you can see, for the last, since the 80s, essentially. So.
Thank you. Move to approve.
It's been properly moved and seconded with the motion by Councilmember Barrera, second by Councilmember Osornio. We'll go ahead and call for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval? Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rocha?
Yes.
Motion passed.
That concludes our consent agenda. We will now move on to council members' reports, appointments, and future agenda items. And I will start with Councilmember Osornio.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. One of the things that I wanted to do, I wanted to start off by just thanking our parks and library staff for the movies in the park. I mean, this last one was just awesome. It was great. I always attend the movies in the park because I have a 4-year-old, and being able to do something in the community and obviously something free and just to kind of get out of the house is always great. And as I was talking with folks that were in attendance, they too were just like, you know, how often do you guys have these? You know, how could we get notified about these? You guys should continue to do these. So just the feedback of the events is just great. It's always good to see that a lot of the outreach is just growing in the way it's done. I really appreciated the radius that was used when the door hangers were on. So that means that we're literally sending folks to people's doorsteps to let them know about events like this, which I think is really important because this council has just really started to say how our community engagement needs to be done. So I just wanted to say thank you for both of those things. One, the noticing of the Hebron Heights groundbreaking, which was phenomenal, really well put together event as well. So wanted to thank our director as well for that. So that's the Hebron Heights. Movie in the park again, like I said, was great, but also being able to have the ribbon cutting for the Yolsal. When we're doing so much work, I mean, just having a small little gathering of maybe some light refreshments and cutting a symbolic ribbon for it builds excitement, and the community is able to come to it, and it's something that we're proud of as well for doing. So again, keep it coming. Anytime that we can attend, I always try to do my best and attend those. So I just wanted to say that all three of those things are in library and community services. So thank you for that. And then lastly, just the prevention and wellness grant that folks can now apply for. There's I think about 300,000 in there, and every chance I get, I always like to thank Mayor Pro Tem Rocha for really bringing that forward and championing it a couple years ago, and seeing that we continue to invest into our community. So just everybody that's a part of that, thank you for putting that together. And I look forward to seeing folks this Saturday for more of the events that we'll be celebrating here in the community. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Barrera.
Thank you. Well, I want to say thank you to Mr. Jose Ariola and his team, all the volunteers. We had the March for Peace leading to Closter Park. It was very well attended. Always great to see families together there. Also, we had the groundbreaking for the Hebron Family Center, which is another one. Fantastic. You know, this council, and I mean this, this council has done a lot of stuff for the neighborhoods. Every time I go by Tout Street, I mean, imagine 30 years ago was the last time that street got fixed. Look at some good work is being done. John Street, and a lot of sidewalks in our neighborhood. And also, Mr. Mendez, I know you have a big, heavy load here, but let's find out how we can support our iron workers, or not only the iron workers, but the people that live here and work here. We want to make sure that we do support our community, and I know you know that. Plus, we also want to give an official welcome to our new finance director, Ms. Selena Andrews. Welcome, and I think I don't know who I was sharing this with. Every time I speak to you, you get pretty serious, so you're probably in a very good department when you're dealing in finances. So thank you. I get a little bit nervous, but that's good. Thank you, Mr. Rocha. You did a fine job today. Congratulations.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Thank you. Just wanted to call attention and invite folks to the Alisal Center for Fine Arts. We'll be hosting a free presentation about the upcoming elections and voting protocols. It's going to be hosted by the Monterey County Elections Department with the assistance from ACFA, and will be taking place tomorrow, the 9th at 6:30 p.m. And I believe that translation will be available for our Spanish speakers. And then wanting to invite the public to attend the ribbon cutting ceremony celebrating the installation of a new playground at Natividad Neighborhood Park this Friday at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Councilmember Sandoval.
Thank you. First, I'd like to congratulate Venture Church on 6 years of service to Salinas and partnering with the city. Also found an interesting Facebook page I recommend. It's called Foodies of Salinas. It's a great place to find places to eat here in Salinas and share recipes. Also like to invite the community out to Station 6, which is off of Boulevard, the Santa Rita area this Friday, October 13th, from 3 to 5 p.m. Congratulations to the air show. I know our airport director left, but I know his staff and our city staff, and I mean, it was a big joint effort. It was a very great, successful event. Congratulations to the volunteers and all the nonprofits who are going to benefit. Also, congratulations to our finance director. I look forward to your leadership. Also, can we have Sergeant Godwin come in for just 1 second? I want to thank him personally. I know he probably doesn't like the recognition, but yes. Yes, no, I want to thank you. You have served the city well, and I've appreciated the opportunities I had to talk with you. And I know Eric is like your greatest fan, so I just want to say thank you on behalf of the city council.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And lastly, one more thing. I want to say happy birthday, Becca. That's my daughter, Bella. She's going to be turning 17, so I want to wish her happy birthday.
All righty, happy birthday to Bella. So move on to Councilmember Valenzuela.
Yes, just really quick, a big shout out and thank you to Jose Riola. In your short time in your new position, you've done a lot of great work, supporting some of the residents. And also, thank you for taking notes in that meeting that we had. We had a meeting with some businesses in downtown. And it's been good. We're hoping that we can come back with those notes so that we can continue to support our businesses. And to folks, if you're in downtown, support our small businesses, support local. That's one of the most important things we can do. Speaking of supporting local, I want to echo Councilmember Barrera's statement about supporting the iron workers and all other local workers as well. I had the opportunity to attend the 3CE meeting representing our city. And so I want to report back that is a huge organization, and we're very lucky to be part of that. And I'm also going to be participating tomorrow in the meeting in ABMAG. And like I said, I thought I knew our community, but in my 4 months on council, it's been quite the crash course. I attended Ciclovia, the ribbon cutting for the new mural in downtown. And, just one more request, Mr. Mendez, if maybe we can start thinking about putting together a task force to see how we can roll out rent stabilization, as well as how we can finish enforcing the rental registry as well. It's my understanding that even though rental registry has been around, it has not been fully rolled out or even very enforceable. So maybe we can start looking at a possible task force for that. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to join Councilmember Gonzalez in welcoming everyone and encouraging everyone to join us Friday, October 11th at 2:15 p.m. at Tividad Neighborhood Park, 1450 Lassen Avenue. They're going to have they have a brand new playground structure there, and I want to thank the Salinas City Council because that was made a reality because of the American Rescue Plan funds that we set aside with the requirement for the majority of the funds to be spent in 93905 and 93906 zip codes. This particular neighborhood really was in desperate need of significant investment from the city of Salinas because of longstanding inabilities for us to fund these kinds of projects. We now are in a unique opportunity to where we can fund them, and the amount of gratitude and appreciation that is expressed by the residents of that area is really profoundly impactful. And so they're really happy to have that playground structure, and it's well deserved, and thank you all for your support on that. I want to update the City Council at the Monterey One Water meeting I attended last week. There was a topic of discussion regarding the submittal of a plan for review to make modifications to the outfall pipe to address the brine associated with the proposed desalination project by CalAm. I did vote to approve the submittal of the review for the modifications to the pipe because there are 12 conditions that CalAm must get approval in order to move forward with their desalination plant. And regardless of your views on desal, what I, in that particular moment, saw this was as an opportunity to get a second set of eyes to look at the plan to make modifications for the outfall, because we were going to submit this plan to review for the regional boards related to water control. And so this is a good opportunity to get a second set of eyes to let us know whether or not we're on the right track when it comes to meeting our environmental obligations with respect to the modifications to the outfall pipe. So regardless of what your opinion is on desal, I think this is a good opportunity to find common ground and get that second opinion on what we need to do moving forward. So it was approved with only one vote against it, and that was from the representative from Marina Coast Water District. But generally, the board is in the consensus of we want to make sure we find opportunities for collaboration and get a second set of eyes on the work that we're doing. I recently attended the Hebron Family Center groundbreaking, and I want to thank my colleagues in the City Council for attending that. It's a historic moment for our city, and thank you to all of our city staff who played a role in that. It was a significant undertaking, and happy to see us moving forward with that. I joined my colleagues in attending the March for Peace. I want to thank everyone associated with putting that together, and to our communications team for promoting this kind of work and being there to take great videos and engage residents in these kinds of events. I also attended Ciclovia this Sunday, and so that was great. A lot of great community events back to back. And in closing, I also want to share my support for the ironworkers and, in the advocacy for local workers to work on these important projects. It's beneficial to our community. Those are all of my comments. We'll now move on to our closed session agenda. We have 2 items on closed session. Number 1 is a public employee performance evaluation, California Government Code Section 54957B, the city attorney, and labor negotiations, California Code Section 5495.6, with its designated labor representatives. If any member of the public would like to comment on our 2 items on closed session, now would be the opportunity to do so. Seeing none in the council chambers, we'll go out to Zoom. Seeing none on Zoom, this meeting is adjourned.